Yeah. Hey y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge. Now the original idea for this video is I was going to compare a high quality American made hammer eye punch to a about half price imported hammer eye punch. And yeah, that's not what ended up happening. Let me tell you what. First of all, let me tell you what I got here. This is a hammer eye punch that was made by Fiery Furnace Forge. They're in Kentucky. I have no affiliation with them. I ordered it. It cost, I think, right at $90. $90. I'll put a link to it, but I don't get anything out of this. I ordered it, and I had seen that a hammer eye punch on Amazon popped up. And that is this little jewel. And it was 50 bucks. So I had the idea I would get the two hammer eye punches, and I would compare the two. Well, when they were shipped, the packing on this one was, it was just wrapped in a bag and taped up. That was my first sign. Whereas the Fiery Furnace Forge was very well packaged. And then let me just start showing you stuff raw. That is how it's packaged. Just a plastic bag and tape. And it's poking through. It's poking through a little bit. This one is the other one I ordered from Fiery Furnace Forge. Certainly packaged quite a bit better. Oh, paper. Oh man, yeah, and finished quite a bit. But okay, first impressions. This one's way better. The Fiery Furnace Forge one. It is. It's finished better. It's dressed. It's smaller. You know, and the end, I guess this one is drop forged, and they didn't do any finishing work on it. So it's going to take more to get this one ready to use. You can see the difference in the ends there. Also, with a struck tool, it's, you know, you don't have to wedge the handle on. But you want to have the handle driven through so it doesn't just fly off. This one, you know, I've got to fit the handle on a little better so it won't come off when I'm using it. So first impressions, I like this one better. The only thing that I'm not super digging about this is it looks like it's heartwood and sapwood in the handle, which shouldn't really matter in a struck tool, and you'll have people tell you that that doesn't matter at all. You know, I always grew up thinking a handle's different, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because it's a struck tool. You know, it's not a hammer. So, yeah, let's get this thing cleaned up, and then we'll see how they do. Okay, so at that point, I had full intentions of dressing this thing, fitting it on the handle better, and really comparing the two of them. And then I just decided not to do that. The more I looked at this thing, the less I liked it, especially when comparing it to this one. This would not be a comparison at all. This would be like having a comparison between a Geo Metro and a Lamborghini. They're not even in the same league. It would make no sense to compare those. They're in completely different categories. So a comparison did not end up happening. What I did do was carry the one by Fiery Furnace Forge to Granville for Heritage Day, where a buddy of mine came up, and we made several hammer blanks. We punched the eyes in some material that we're going to make hammers with later, and we did several of those using this one, and Here's some of them. That's Hunts Brandon. I'm here in the Grandma Blacksmith Shop. This is my buddy Jonathan. He's been nice enough to come out and help me make some hammer blanks today. So this is what that looks like. Yeah, I got off kilter a little too. Okay, that's enough of that. Neither me or Jonathan have made a hammer in several years. So it actually took us a while to start doing things like, you know, getting the eyes straight. But yeah, we finally got it straight enough. Yeah, that was pretty straight, right? So we finally got it going, but that was not the tool's fault. The tool, with the exception of having some lubricant, graphite lubricant on it, is in as good a shape as it was when we first started using it. So I'm just, without ever even using this, I'm going to call this competition right here. Now the main reason why I decided not to even test this is if I order a tool, I need to be able to use it when it comes in. There's a $40 price difference between these two tools. And yeah, I could take an hour and a half and I could make this usable where I could punch some hammer eyes. But that's an hour, hour and a half of my shop time. And that might not be worth a lot to you, but my shop time is worth more than $40 an hour to me. Basically, I can use that time to make more than $40. So this would be a waste of my time. And it's just, it's like whoever manufactures this, just like, is trying to cash in on the blacksmithing craze in America right now and just, hey, let's make one of those. It's just a poor representation of a hammer eye. What I wish I had done was bought another American-made hammer eye punch in the same price range as this one, because that would have been a fair comparison. Another handmade one made in the States, because there are several companies making them in the same price range. I can't recommend any of them because this is the only one that I've used, but I think that would have made an actual comparison. If you're in the market for a hammer eye punch, I can recommend the one from Fiery Furnace Forge. I have used it and it works great. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, I'll just make my own hammer eye punch, that's great, man. Do that. That would be a good skill building thing for you, and you know, you'd have a tool that you made, and that always makes me feel good. But you don't have to. You can order some tools, and it doesn't make you less of a blacksmith, no matter what somebody says to you on the internet. It doesn't make you less of a blacksmith. You may have less time to make a tool and you want to do something. But if you want to make one, I do really encourage that. I recommend that you take a class. There are a lot of tool making classes. Join a blacksmith association, make friends with a blacksmith, because a little bit of hands-on help can make that process a whole lot simpler. But if you don't make it, you just want to buy one, that's pretty groovy too, man. Just get out in the shop and get to hitting stuff. So I hope y'all got something on my ramblings on this today. And I'm not dumping on imported tools. There are a lot of new imported tools that I really think are high quality tools. Just that thing's not one of them. And we'll see what I end up doing with that. Who knows? But just sometimes you can get by with the cheaper imported tools. Sometimes I don't think you can. So like I said, hope you got something out of this. What do y'all think about it? Which do you have a hammer out punch that you've bought? Which one do you like? I'm really starting to like Fire Furnace Forge. I've got a few things from them, so I'm going to be looking at them more. But yeah, that's all I got. Y'all behave yourselves. By the way, one more thing, and I'm going to leave you alone. You see that right there? That says pointed hammer in Chinese.